Hello everybody, this is Yakes87 and welcome back to the Yakes87 World Tour. Today brings us to Event 39, the fourth and final layout at Irwindale Speedway. This time we'll be doing the figure 8 track. Now originally this was scheduled to be run with the street stock. However, I ran into a lot of issues with the street stock getting around this track because there's no longer a road course set up for the street stock, and it just kept like flipping on me and not making the corners, so I had to kind of change it up a little bit. I don't really know enough about building a road course setup for my Volvo car, so I wasn't able to like tweak anything to get anything to work. I checked the forums, there wasn't a setup, so I decided let's just use a road car. So it's about the same lap times as the street stock was getting, but yeah, we are on the figure 8 course. As you can see, we're going to come around here and we got this little intersection. And the green flag is right there, so let's get going, shall we? Green flag, 87 laps on the figure 8 course. There's nothing like too tricky about it. Like I said, it's basically just a cone course. But it is kind of fun, you know, to turn laps on this thing, because it's something different. Like, and I know I mentioned this before, but like Irwindale has a lot of courses that are just super unique, and this is definitely one of those, being the only actual like figure 8 courses in the game. I don't know if any of you have ever been to a figure 8 race before, but they're absolutely insane. They're fun to watch and incredibly destructive. If you watch it for like the actual racing, it's kind of interesting because it's like a road course, but then you have the intersection, so you have to decide, you know, oh, do I want to just sit here, wait a minute, wait for it to be clear, or do I want to go through and expect the others to go clear? And it's definitely a little nerve-wracking watching figure 8 races in person. Especially like if you go to some of these local tracks that just go absolutely crazy with the figure 8 racing. Like, I've seen like figure 8 racing with trailers and school buses, and it's just it gets a little nuts sometimes, especially down here in Florida with the figure 8 racing. And I've never been like super crazy about, you know, figure 8 racing. I think it's one of those things where it's just like, oh, it's one more thing at the end of the racing program before we shut down for the night, which is cool because anytime there's more racing, that's better. But just from like a pure racing perspective, I'm just not like crazy about figure 8 racing. It's just kind of fun to watch, and it's crazy. But I definitely would I'd much rather watch a 200 lap super late race over a figure 8 race. I just find the late models and other short track racing programs to be a little bit more exciting than the figure 8 races. But you know, that's just me speaking as, you know, someone that's, you know, grown more accustomed to racing and appreciating racing more over the years. I know there's people that still kind of just watch racing for, you know, crashes, excitement, you know, the fireworks, you know, all that, you know, good stuff that, you know, supplements the actual racing product. Now, I will say, you know, I've seen some pretty good races on a figure 8 track. I'm not going to lie. Like, I've seen some races where you're not really sure who's going to win. You've got, you know, first and second. They're running pretty close to each other, racing each other through the intersection. You got lap traffic and stuff. So, you know, I've seen some good, like, actual, like, racing-generated figure 8 races. So, I don't, like, hate figure 8 racing just because there are some moments. But when you start doing all the ridiculous stuff with the school buses and stuff like that, and you're racing those on a figure 8 track, like, okay, I think we've gone a little too far into the mayhem at that point. But I don't know. It's just, it's a figure 8. It's like a road, basically a road course at this point. Since I'm driving by myself. 23.983. But yeah. Well, that's all I have to say for now. Talking about some figure 8 racing. Yeah, like, I am live on Twitch at this very moment, so be sure to follow twitch.tv/Yakes87 for all the notifications on when I go live with these. I don't really have a schedule, so it's just kind of like whenever I have the time, I'm practiced enough, I flip on the stream and run one of these. So if you want to follow up on that, we also have Integrity Racing every Monday and Tuesday night on the stream, and World of Warcraft rating on Wednesdays and Fridays. So lots of fun stuff to tune into on the Yakes87 Twitch channel. And of course, archived videos of every World Tour race, as well as some Let's Plays I've done in the past on the Yakes87 YouTube channel. So be sure to follow all of those and keep an eye on it. I've also tried to be more active on Twitter lately, so if you're interested in hearing some of my thoughts or my comments, I have tried to get a little bit more active on Twitter, so you can reach out to me there at Yakes87. So thank you guys for watching. If you're watching on Twitch, I will be live with you every step of the way, and if you're watching on YouTube, I will be with you in just a moment when I have more to say. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Alright, welcome back everybody. We just completed lap 30, so we have 57 laps to go here at the Irwindale Figure 8. It's been fun so far. I've kind of just fell into a rhythm, just turning laps, and I was able to get some like pretty quick laps done. And it was actually kind of like fun and satisfying to get those really fast laps in. You know, I've moved. I was practicing in 24s, and now I'm down into 23s pretty consistently. So it's just kind of fun to know that, like, hey, I'm figuring this out. I'm going faster on the track. And, you know, that's kind of like one thing I've noticed, you know, specifically last year moving into this year, is I've started to become more of a better, more consistent driver, especially on the road courses. Like, I've really started to get a lot better at road courses. That's something I've really struggled with for a while. And it's just kind of fun to see, like, I don't start recording these until I get to like a lap range that I'm comfortable with. You know, laps that are like not like slow, they're like at pace, but also not dangerous. And it's kind of cool to see, like, you know, as I like settle in and run these challenges from my comfort zone, that, you know, my comfort zone gets faster and faster through the challenge. And that's really just like a sentiment to, you know, if you're trying to figure something out, like, the best thing you can do is just put as many laps as you can into it. You know, I'm putting laps into these weird random tracks with random cars, and, you know, it's really fun, and that's actually translated to a lot of success on the things that matter. You know, I had a really good A fixed race yesterday. I finished 4th at Las Vegas, and it was because I put the laps in practice and tried to, you know, figure it out, make sure I could save the tires and do everything I needed to have a very good and solid race. And I'm really looking forward to Integrity on Monday, where I can kind of showcase some of that, of what I've learned. I mean, obviously everyone knows practice makes perfect, but, you know, it's kind of cool to see, like, obviously, like, I know practice helps on some, like, with things that, you know, matter to me, you know, running well in, like, short tracks and oval stuff, but when I'm able to just, like, put something random into, like, this, like, who runs figure 8 laps at the MX-5? And I'm over here just like, I'll do it. Yeah, why not? And I'm like, just, my laps just keep getting better and better when I just, you know, just kind of stop talking and focus on the laps. It's just kind of fun to see the improvements and all that. I don't know, it's just kind of humbling to me, and I appreciate every moment I get where I can, you know, fire up a practice session and learn something new. Because even though it's like kind of odd, I mean, it's a figure 8 race, you know, I don't doubt that there's something I can take away from this figure 8 challenge with the MX-5 and apply to you know, other tracks, other cars, or things like that. You know, it's just there's every time I strap into the race car. 24.1. I say strap in, like, you know, load into the sim and start turning laps. I feel like every time I do that, there's something I can learn, and I've really tried to just kind of learn as much as I can, and you know, be the best driver I can be. You know, I don't think I'll ever be like top split material, but you know, I'd like to give myself the opportunity to improve my skills and see what I can get. But you know, as long as I'm getting better every time I get in the car, you know, there's no limit to how good of a driver I can become. And you know, I think that can apply to anybody. You know, anybody can put the time in and practice and learn the same things that I've been learning, and you know, go from, you know, a driver that, you know, is very inconsistent, speed once in a while, but doesn't really do anything with the speed, to being able to take a step back, focus more on the consistency, and rebuild the speed from there. That's kind of what I did last year, and it's been fun, and I'm really looking forward to what's next. I'm always looking forward to that next race, that next, you know, World Tour challenge, that next practice session. I enjoy just driving. It's fun. But anyway, I don't want this to be, you know, super sentimental or anything. It's just kind of just the thoughts that's been on my mind. You know, just running, you know, something like, I don't know, just kind of goofy. It's like a figure 8 track. But I'm over here just like, you know what? It's a goofy figure 8 track, but I feel like I'm learning things. And I don't know, it's just cool to feel like I'm learning things. But like I said, that is enough rambling for now. We are officially halfway, so I will catch up with you guys in a bit. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in just a moment. Alright, lap 60 is complete. We have just 27 more laps to go here at the Irwindale Speedway figure 8 track. I'm trying to think, what else is there to say about this? It's fun. I've noticed that the lap times have fallen off quite a bit from what I was able to run before, but it has still remained fun. I mean, I never thought I'd ever be doing this many laps on the figure 8 track, so I am pleasantly surprised at just how fun this is. I'm actually, like, I'm having a blast right now. Like, it's so bizarre, but it's so much fun. Like, I kind of played around with the figure 8 track when they first launched it, who knows how many years ago, I can't remember now. And I just kind of played around with it. It was like, oh, that's neat. But now I'm just like actually like putting it to use, and I'm like, oh, this is actually kind of fun. I think if I had a setup that actually like really worked well for it, because I know this is kind of the Mazda, like, it feels good in the left hand turn, but the right hand turns, it kind of just doesn't turn that well. But I think that's also just like the tires, because around lap 15 to 20, everything was like, it felt great. There was like grip everywhere, and I was able to turn. And now it just feels like I have no grip. The car doesn't want to turn, and yeah, I think that's just the downside of putting 65 laps on a set of tires. On some banking like this, that, you know, probably isn't the most kind surface to tires, but 24.9. You know, we're making do with what we have. See, sometimes it'll it'll grip pretty good and go where you want it, and other times it just won't. And there we go. We were able to hit the 23s back in the 23s. So I don't know. It's something different, but it's fun. I really enjoy this. I don't know how many more times I can just sit here and say, oh, it's fun, but it's fun. Give the figure 8 track a try. You won't regret it.
24.265.
You know, it's kind of fun. You go around the corners and you're just like hugging the line. You're going around and then it's just like sharp turn and then you just accelerate off of it. I don't know, it's really fun. Just the difference between like turning and then like, you know, just launching off the corners. Just imagine like launching through this intersection though, and there's like other cars coming. Like, yikes, that'd be scary. I should have tried to see if there were other people that would do this with me, just because I feel like I'm missing out on the effect of figure 8 racing by not having another car out here. But at the same time, I'm also okay with that because the goal is to try to do the 87 laps without crashing. And as you can see, I have no, like, I can't really see out of the left and right side because I'm running just like a single monitor setup. So I have no side peripheral vision, which is, you know, that's fun sometimes. But you know what? It works. But it definitely doesn't work for something like this where you really need to, you know, because I go here and I'm basically blind and I don't know, you know, what's on the other side. I don't know if there's a car coming through the intersection. But, you know, here, I do. You know, when I was talking before about how when the figure 8 first came out, I went and did some practice. And I think, like, 9 times out of 10, like every time I went through the intersection I just get T-boned by somebody and it was just awful.
24.55.
Yeah, like I couldn't see, you know, the other cars coming and nobody else was lifting, so it's just like oof. But it is fun. It's fun to watch figure 8 racing, but I'll just stick to my traditional oval stuff myself. You know, as we're closing in, we got lap 74. We got about 13 laps of this left. So sad to say, you know, turning laps on the figure 8 track is going to be coming to a close very soon. But you know, that's going to allow us to move on to bigger and better things. This is the last event here at Irwindale Speedway. There's 4 layouts. This is the 4th of the 4. Coming up next, we've got Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca. Actually, it's WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. Sorry, Laguna Seca with the Renault 2.0. That's going to be a fun challenge. I've been taking a few laps with that car to prepare for that one, and it is going to be so much fun. After that, we are going to Sonoma. Sonoma is going to be a very long one, a series of high endurance challenges, and those I'm actually really looking forward to because I'm really looking forward to tackling Sonoma. We're going to be doing it with stock cars and GT3 cars, and then of course there is the Rallycross layout as well. After Sonoma is done, we are heading out. We're heading a little bit further to the east, and we got some tracks in Las Vegas. We got the Bull Ring, and of course Las Vegas Motor Speedway, so we're back on some ovals after that. So a lot of fun tracks coming up, actually. I'm actually really looking forward to this next few tracks on the World Tour. We got a lot of fun ones. We got the Sonoma layouts, Laguna Seca, Las Vegas.
24.35.
And then I think Kansas? I'd have to double check the schedule, but yeah. There's a lot of fun tracks coming up. Alright, we got 10 laps to go. A little under 10. We got 9 laps to go. We just completed lap 78. of 87 laps here at the Irwindale Speedway Figure 8 course. Lucas Oil, sponsoring like everything. It's good for them though. It's good to sponsor at the local level sometimes. Get your name out there.
24.654.
Yeah. I'm kind of out of things to say right now, which is kind of sad because we're coming to the end. What else can we talk about? Oh yeah, let's talk about some of the other layouts here at Irwindale. So we kicked things off with the inner course at Irwindale. We did that with the limited late. That one was really fun, running on this inner course here. We didn't run into too many troubles with that one. It was definitely a it was a slog though, because that car, like, there's not a lot of straightaways, and so it just kind of felt like you were just in a constant turn. It never felt like you were out of the turn, which was kind of an interesting effect on running like 87 laps without like any breaks. You know, no pit stops or anything like that on the short challenge. So that one was definitely interesting. A lot of just holding the wheel in place. I was really concerned about tires on that one, but they lasted. The tires were fine. They kind of eased any of my concerns on tires doing these challenges. The next thing we had was the outer course. Of course, doing that one with the super late model. You know, that led to some that led to some challenges. I think I had to restart that one once or twice. No, I think it was just once on that one, just because, you know, the main groove on that track being up by the wall led to some mistakes. I did hit it once and damaged the car, had to start over. You know, but that's just, you know, running up against the wall like that, you know. I kind of calmed down when I did it the second time. That's one of the things I actually like tend to struggle with sometimes, is tracks where you have to run up against the wall. Because I've hit those walls so many times on those types of tracks that the walls scare me sometimes, and I'm just like, I don't want to be near that wall, and that leads to being slower. But then I have to move up closer to the wall, and because I haven't been running by the wall, then I hit the wall, and it's just a cycle. But Irwindale Outer was fun. Then we had the Irwindale Inner Outer, which was a very bizarre egg-shaped racetrack, utilizing turns 1 and 2 on the big oval and 3 and 4 on the inner oval. That one was actually really fun. I really liked that one. As we're coming around for the white flag, as we've got one more lap to go on the Irwindale Figure 8, which is the 4th of the Irwindale challenges. And coming around that last turn one more time and across the line. And checkered flag.
24.383.
That is 87 laps on the Irwindale Figure 8 that have been completed in one sitting. So, hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd be interested to hear from you. And we'll see you guys in Laguna Seca. I forgot for a moment. But Laguna Seca is coming up very soon. So, we'll see you there. Thank you for watching, everybody.